Hello everyone, Anne here, the little Frenchie in Big Texas. Welcome to my channel. So this video is a bit of news from the old continent, update on my last video on the fire on the Parisian market. Some of you asked in the comments to get updated. So it's an update on this one and a bit of also the news that have been discussed there from what I read on the internet and talking to my family over there in the last week, because a lot of things are happening and happening very fast. So first of all, the market. So I made my video last week because I thought it was pretty much blown out of proportion on certain media channels, saying the biggest market in the world has just been destroyed. So according to me, and I'm very proud of people saying it's the largest market in the world, being French, but I don't think it is. I never heard it was the largest market in the world. For me, it is located in Mexico, the Central de Abasto in Mexico City. But it depends on how you measure it, whether it's the number of vendors, the sales, or mine. I think I base it on the area covered, the geographical area. And I don't think the French one is the biggest. But anyway, it doesn't change much, whether it's the first, the second, or the third. The main point is that the whole market was not destroyed. It was just one warehouse, a big one. It's the size of a soccer field, so it's significant. But still, it's just one piece of the market. And the rest opened the following Monday morning, pretty much. But to give it a bit of credit, what's interesting is the coverage on the French media. Talking to my parents, I asked them, well, what has been said? And the answer was nothing. It was not covered on the French media, which is kind of weird because they're going to cover every little thing here and there, but not that one. They actually learned it from watching my channel. I mean, they don't read the newspapers on the internet. My parents usually listen to the news at lunchtime and dinner time. But still, I would have expected it to be covered. It's a significant warehouse outside of Paris, full of fruits and vegetables. And as I read in some of my comments, and I fully agree, it doesn't just, the fire just doesn't start naturally with fruits and vegetables on the pallets. And from the pictures I have seen, it was a very recent building, more like a metal with glass construction, not an old warehouse. So it should have been equipped with, all the good stuff, fire smoke detector, fire extinguisher, and all the kind. So I really don't know if we're ever gonna get an official answer, response on the news from the investigation, and if it's gonna be communicated openly. My guess here, and it is just my guess, we had quite a lot of fires this summer, and even in the past, burning some Catholic churches and so on, that were criminal. So you have some people who just like starting fires back home. Some of the bad wildfires this summer were intentional. One actually that got caught was a fireman who was lighting some of the fires himself. So it happens, it exists, and that's just my guess. But I wouldn't. Maybe there was a maintenance, in the building, and something went wrong, kind of like Notre Dame. But my guess here is that it's probably criminal. But it's a spot thing on the market, not the whole market. It's not like you're blowing up 2 pipelines, and blocking the whole gas arrival to Europe. That's way different. And that's pretty much what made headlines initially. Given the market did not, pretty much right away, it was the pipelines. And here the articles were pretty, what I read was pretty clear. Given the leaks, let's don't call it explosion or sabotage, the leaks in the Baltic Sea were really between Sweden and Denmark. Both countries are monitoring the ocean for seismic activities, and both of them reported some spikes in seismic activities that, according to them, were not natural but due to explosions. So the Europeans have been calling pretty quickly it explosion on purpose, sabotage, and so on. The main question is who did it, and all the theories are on the table here. I haven't read any. They're actually trying to stay pretty neutral here on who did it. I haven't read anything in particular, one way or the other. Talking to my parents the same way, no sight, but first, I mean, that's my perspective here, not what I read. You have to look at who benefits from it. I mean, obviously, the ones that are getting hurt are the Europeans, particularly Germany. I mean, completely relying on the Russian gas, even though the pipelines were shut. There was still an option to get it somehow, but now the option is pretty much gone. And then look at who's got the capacity, knowledge, and so on to do it. Who benefits and who's got the capabilities to do it. Not that many, right? It's on pretty much a few fingers here on my hands. So it's interesting, but the news here on what I read are very much against Russia, pro-Ukraine, putting a lot of headlines on the Ukrainian president. I'm not going to butcher his name here. How much they're moving forward, regaining territories, the delivery of the arms. I mean, it's very much against Putin and pro-Ukraine, what I read in the news. Picturing something of Putin that's pretty not nice. One theory that was interesting, my mother mentioned today about the pipelines, and I have no clue whether it's true or not, but they had some scientists on TV exploring the possibility of having had a cyber attack on these pipelines, meaning no explosives as such, but everything done electronically. So I don't know if that's kind of, on one side you've got the Swedes and the Danish saying, well, there were some tremors. On the other side, they're talking about cyber attacks, which I don't know how you break a pipeline with a cyber attack. I mean, I read other articles saying that it would be hard to repair, underwater, corrosion, and so on. I'm looking forward to an actual investigation here too, and going to the bottom of it. But yeah, you've got the two sides pretty much in people's opinion here, exploring whether Russia did it to itself with a few billion losses in assets, and whether the Americans kept their word and did it. So I don't know. All are on the table and not clearly mentioned on the French news here. But these are pretty much the two options remaining here, or any allies of these two that would have done it on their behalf. But that is it, and that's pretty much what you had on the news. I mean, the market did not make it to headlines, just a few articles on Sunday when people were not looking. Then you move to the pipeline, which did not stay on the news too long, and right now it's full blast on bad Putin, Ukraine moving forward, and so on. So it's very much on that side. For now, let's wait on what is going to happen this week, because it's, as I said, it's happening so fast. Probably something else is going to happen this week, and I will keep you posted on what I hear. But nothing good so far, I would say, and I'm not expecting anything good either in the coming weeks. We're moving into colder temperatures across Europe, especially on the northern side. So it's going to start getting more difficult for people with the heat if they start putting restrictions. But so far, so good. All the people I talk to, I mean, it's they're all wearing sweaters and so on in the house, but it's not bad. So it's not bad yet, and the grocery stores, at least in France, are fully stocked, despite the warehouse in Rungis. So everything is fully stocked. Prices are just increasing everywhere across the board. But there are increasing salaries as well in Europe. Something to take into account. They increased the state employees. They increased the retirement, the pensions, and for the private sector, it's company by company, but they are increasing salaries, and quite a bit actually. The teachers, the retirement, it's something between 5 and 10%. Which is kind of significant when you're a retiree on government social security income, because usually the percentages are really small, and here it's like an 8%, so it's not that small, it's significant. But would it be enough? And when is the next one? So here are the news. Hope you found this interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so that you get notification if you take the bell, notified for my next video. I try to diversify my videos, so it's a bit of prepping, food preservation, a bit of homeschooling, a bit of news, pretty much everything that's happened and everything we do in the house. So hope you enjoy it. Thank you all for watching.